Last night was plenty of fun at the old ball yard, and tonight round two, the Rockies and the Pittsburgh Pirates from Coors Field. Rockies prevailed 5-4 last night. A walk-off winner provided by Dexter Fowler after a 3-run home run after a rain delay in the top of the ninth by Pedro Alvarez caught the Rockies. But all's well that ends well. Good evening, everybody. I'm Drew Goodman. Dexter Fowler is in a special place. He is hitting right around 300. He's hitting the ball over the fence, doubles and triples, and great defensive plays as well, as you saw during the tees. In fact, his hitting coach is quite thrilled with how things are going. Here's Carney Lansford on Dexter.
His leg kick is his whole timing mechanism, and when he has that together, then he's great. He recognizes off-speed pitches, and sometimes he doesn't pick it up enough, and sometimes he picks it up too much, and then sometimes he doesn't get it down on time. So it's and it's still relatively new to him. So when he gets that right, and his whole timing is right, then he sees the ball and swings at strikes.
And when he is swinging at strikes, he is a very dangerous hitter, Jeff Houston.
Well, he is, and I think that's a fun thing to see the progression for Dexter Fowler and how far he's come and the progression of his swing. Because when he first came up, he did not have the leg kick, and now he's incorporating it, and because of that, all of his numbers are up, especially in the last 8 ball games. A .438 average, the on-base percentage and the slugging percentage are up. But really, that shouldn't come as a surprise, because if you ask people who's ninth in the National League in slugging percentage and on base percentage, I'm not sure Dexter Fowler would be the first name that came to your mind, but he is, and I think that's where he's at now in his development as a player. And Jim Tracy even has some confidence in him tonight because of the way the lineup is construed. He's going to be hitting third tonight.
All right, first time this year. So Dexter will be in the 3-hole. Eric Young, who's swinging the bat very well off the bench, he'll get a start. He'll lead off. When we come back, we'll talk about Christian Friedrich. He's turned things around at Coors Field. Dugout getting mentally prepared to go as he Gets a little encouragement from Dexter Fowler. Welcome back upstairs with Jeff Houston. I'm Drew Goodman. Last time we saw Christian Friedrich, he shut down a very good Philadelphia Phillies lineup on Friday. It was great to see because we've seen him very good on the road. Now at home, he's turned a corner.
Yeah, finally the last couple outings for him, he's done particularly well in those two ball games. 11 innings and 12 strikeouts is the other big number for Christian Friedrich, and he's figured out how to pitch at home now, because you're gonna get half of your starts here. You might as well figure it out. But he understands that if I keep the ball down, if I work ahead in the count and do all the things that I've done out on the road, it will translate here at Coors Field. And the most impressive one was the outing against the Phillies, because he goes 6 innings, he has 7 punch outs in that game, but he only threw 82 pitches. And part of this new pitching program is that you have to throw quick, efficient, early strikes.
He's gravitated to it. Pomerantz has gravitated to it. They are pounding the strike zone. He hopes to do the same thing tonight. It is game 2, the Rockies and the Pirates. Come on back to Coors Field with us. Colorado Rockies baseball on Root Sports is brought to you by your neighborhood Toyota stores. Toyota, moving forward. By CenturyLink, fast speed and a low monthly price. Visit CenturyLink.com. And by Southwest Airlines, find our fares online only at Southwest.com. So the Rockies prevailed 5-4 last night. The Pirates have lost back-to-back ball games for the first time in more than 3 weeks, when they lost 3 in a row back on June 24th through the 26th. As you look at Alex Presley, he's off the 7-day disabled list for a concussion yesterday, and he went 1 for 4. Here's the rest of Clint Hurdle's lineup tonight, presented by Southwest Airlines. Drew Sutton will be in there in right field. Then Andrew McCutchen, 2 for 4 yesterday to raise his average to 372. And yes, that's not a misprint. He has 48 hits in his last 100 at-bats. McGee, Walker, Alvarez, McHenry, Clint Barmas, and the left-hand veteran, 33-year-old Eric Bedard. Christian Friedrich on the hill. We were just bragging on him, and he'll face Alex Presley, as we mentioned, to begin things.
14th start on the season for Christian. His first 4 starts at Coors Field, an ERA at 11.64. The last 2 just 164, and the 2 guys in front of him for most starts, and it's the first 13 would be Chacin and Chacon.
First pitch of the ball game right there, strike 1. at 91 miles an hour. Good start. Fielded Colbreth is behind home plate, calling balls and strikes. And that slider's chopped foul. 2-strike count. 88 degrees our game time temperature. Yesterday,
68. It wasn't 68 yesterday.
Yeah, 20 degrees warmer. And yesterday was odd in that there's one out in the ninth inning, 2 on, all of a sudden a 52-minute rain delay. And a chopper to short. Rutledge charging on the move, throws out the quick Alex Presley. Defensively, the Rockies will have Cargo, Dexter, and Eric Young in the outfield, so EY's in right. Pacheco and Rutledge left side, 2 rookies, Scudero and Kadire. They are not rookies. They're on the right side. Willeen Rosario, another rookie, is behind the plate. Back-to-back starts for Willeen. 1 out, Drew Sutton. Versatile player, shows bunt, takes ball 1. Seen him at second and third and short in his career. He has a handful of ball games at first base, and also he's played in the outfield. That's where he is tonight. And he'll give another chance to Rutledge.
That's what you like to see from your starting pitcher in 4 or 5 pitches, 2 quick ground ball outs. You also like to see Andrew McCutchen coming to the plate with nobody on.
Absolutely. His numbers are phenomenal. And his numbers against lefties are ridiculous. .463 average. He's had 80 at-bats this year against lefties. He has 37 hits.
5 home runs, 22 RBIs.
To third, tough chance. Pacheco, got to get rid of it in a hurry. Boy, that's a terrific inning. 3 ground balls to the left side. 6 pitches is all it took Christian Friedrich. That'll work. To the west, looks pretty good right now in downtown Denver. Drew Goodman, Jeff Hewson, and Mark Stout. That is Eric Young getting ready to go. He'll bat leadoff tonight for the Rockies. As a pinch hitter, his last 6 at-bats, he has 5 hits. Yesterday, a 2-run double for EY. He'll be followed in the Southwest batting order by Marco Scudero. Then Dexter Fowler will bat third for the first time. And then Cargo, Michael Kadire, Jordan Pacheco, Willeen Rosario, Rutledge, and Friedrich. 33-year-old Eric Bedard, the former Baltimore Oriole, Seattle Mariner, a couple of teams that my partner played for.
Yeah, and it hasn't been good lately for Eric Bedard. His last win was back on June 8th. His 0-4 in his last 5 starts with a 7.99 ERA and a 3.23 batting average against. And more importantly for his ball club, they're 0-5 in those starts. And for Eric Bedard, It is going to be a fastball that will sit at 90 miles an hour, both two-seam and the four-seamer. Try to cut the ball into the right-handed hitters. Change up and the 12-6 curveball for Bedard. We'll keep an eye on that to see how that curveball plays at Coors Field in the altitude.
Two-strike count on Junior. And this is slowly hit to short. Tough play for Barmes, and he gets it done.
If he doesn't barehand that, he doesn't get it done. Experience from Clint Barmes and playing at this field and the speed of Eric Young Jr. He's coming in thinking he's going to have to glove it and changes his mind midstream. And wisely did that. Look it all the way into your glove, and in one swift motion, throw it sidearm, and the Mike Shaw Subaru Supermo shows that you get a speedy Eric Young Jr. by a step.
Marco Scudero, along with Michael Kadire, have seen a lot of Eric Bedard.
That's from all the years in the American League.
Bedard handled Marco. Marco just 2 for 16 against Bedard. 2-0 count for Scudero. Marco an RBI single in the 5th yesterday, a 4-run 5th for the Rockies. He was 1 for 4. Kind of an odd game. It was a good ball game, but odd in that the Rockies' entire offense came in the 5th inning until the bottom of the 9th. Other than that, Jeff Karstens dominated the Rockies.
And then the one swing from Pedro Alvarez for them in the 9th to tie it up.
The first pitch after the rain delay.
Yeah. Well, you figure that he's going to be looking at that as a pinch hit situation with the rain delay of 52, 53 minutes. You've been sitting for that long. You got left on left. I'm going to sell out to hit the first pitch that I see if it's a fastball. And that's what he did. To his credit, he hit it out.
3-1's in there, 3-2.
Just watching Bedard throw, doesn't he remind you of Ted Lilly with the way he turns on the mound and shows you the numbers before he delivers the ball to the plate? Right here, when he turns and spins, you see both numbers.
This ball's well hit center field. McCutcheon's going to go back and make the grab. Bedard has struggled of late. In his last outing, he lost to Barry Zito 6-5, lasted just 3 2/3.
Well, and the start before that wasn't much better, just 4 2/3. It gave up 1 extra earned run, 8 hits in the first game of the last 2. And he's been falling behind too many times, and he doesn't have the overpowering arsenal of pitches to do that.
So Dexter making his 2nd start this year, I should have said, in the 3-hole. Last night, he got a pitch to hit to drive, looking for something to lift, and he got it deep enough to center field. Good throw by McCutcheon, but Rosario scores easily with the game winner in the bottom of the 9th. 5-4 Rockies, their 5th walk-off win of the year.
And the 2nd one for Dexter Fowler.
Dexter with a 1-1 count, 2 outs, nobody on. 7th time in his career he's gotten the start batting 3rd. Good pitch, 1-2. Dexter 13 for his last 24 against lefties. A month ago he was hitting .209 against lefties. Now he's right under 300. And another base hit for Fowler. McCutcheon getting to it quickly will hold Dexter to a single. That's particularly good to see in that when you move a guy, if you're a manager, out of a familiar spot, does he stay comfortable?
Well, you're afraid that he's going to try to hit the long ball because he's not hitting leadoff anymore. He's hitting in the third spot, that power spot.
Here's Pittsburgh defensively as Cargo will come up. Presley's in left. He played right yesterday. Drew Sutton's in right. McCutcheon, of course, in center. Alvarez, Barmes, Walker, and McGee in the infield with the former Rocky, Michael McHenry, behind the plate. Inside, ball one on Cargo. Cargo had a leg hit last night, 1 for 4. Kept his Coors Field hitting streak alive. And this is sliced down the line. Alvarez is not going to have a play. That should be a leg hit. I don't know even if he comes up with it. It's going to be an across the body throw against a plus runner.
Because it jammed Carlos Gonzalez. It got into the kitchen towards the knuckles and he fisted it down the line. Pedro Alvarez is playing off the line. He's going to have to make the throw going away into foul territory without the benefit of a jump throw. It's going to be all arm strength from the side.
And they give him a hit, so it's a 24-game hitting streak now at Coors Field for Cargo. And that'll bring up Michael Kadire. 273 lifetime average against Bedard with 5 RBIs. Kadire second on the club with 51 RBIs. The club leader, of course, is Carlos Gonzalez with 60. Kadire hitting .289 with runners in scoring position. That's in 2-0.
We talked about it on last night's broadcast about Michael Kadire. He had 50 RBIs before the All-Star break, and that's the most he's had in his career prior to the All-Star break. So his numbers are at least as good, if not better, than his career numbers.
2-0. And it's 3-0 with Pacheco on deck. Well, you green light him?
I would with Kadire. He's 6 for 22 in his career against Bedard. If he sees a pitch where he likes it, he's got the experience.
Well, it wasn't a strike. Ball 4, and now the bases are loaded. Here comes Jordan Pacheco, Mr. Steady.
A lot has been put on Jordan Pacheco's plate this year. Asked him to play third base, learn the position here at the major league level. Last night he hit third. He's hit 6th, 7th, 2nd. But no matter where you put him in the lineup, he's hit.
He's hitting .333 against lefties. That's not close. Ball 1. There are the splits for Pacheco. Outfield is straight up against Jordan. The infield straight up, and that's how you'd align because he sprays the ball.
Yeah, he's right center field to left center field. If he pulls it, it would be an off-speed pitch.
1-0, and it's a ground ball to short. Barmes will go across the diamond, and the Rockies will leave him loaded in the first inning. We'll go to the second. No score. Rockies and Bucks. To the second inning, we'd like to welcome all our Falcon broadband viewers from Falcon, Colorado. We at Root Sports thank you for watching the Rockies. Visit our Facebook page at facebook.com/Root Sports Rocky Mountain, or RM I should say, so you can tell us your favorite place to root for the Rockies. Casey McGee will lead things off against Christian Friedrich here in the second. Cincinnati lost yesterday, so the Pirates didn't lose any ground in their battle in the National League Central. They're still just a game out of first. The Reds tonight, though, lead Arizona 4-0 at Great American. St. Louis 3.5 back at 47 and 43. Milwaukee's certainly not out of it. I like that pitch there. He didn't give in 1-0 with the fastball, and he got an off-speed pitch over.
Well, and with a veteran hitter like Casey McGee. Casey's strength, believe it or not, is to right center field. A big, muscular, strong guy. You think everything was to the pull side. But he prefers to hit it to right center.
You spent a lot of time with him prior to batting practice today.
Well, he was coming up with the Cubs when I was over there working. So I've known Casey since he broke into pro ball. Down in the minor leagues and working his way up and getting a chance with the Brewers.
Fastball at 94 fouled off. 6-pitch first inning for Christian Friedrich. His next pitch will be number 6 on Casey McGee.
Yeah, and 3 ground balls in those 6 pitches back in the first. 2 to short, 1 to third.
Two and two. McGee had that huge year in 2010 for the Brewers. He drove in 104.
I'm surprised there was 104 guys out there after Fielder and
Braun.
and Braun.
Friedrich peering over that glove, and here's the 2-2. This ball's well hit to right. EY drifting back, and in front of the wall, middle of the track, he makes the catch. Let's take a look at our Excel Energy high efficiency inning. It's the first inning. Well, he's only played a little more than an inning. It was quick and efficient. Presley, 2-hopper to Rutledge. Drew Sutton hit the ball in the same direction, and then Andrew McCutcheon would hit a sharper ground ball, but it was at Jordan Pacheco. Learn about energy efficiency and how to save money in your home by visiting responsiblebynature.com. Here's Neil Walker with the 16-game hitting streak. Second best in baseball to Robbie Cano. Cano has hit 19 straight for the Yankees. It is not the longest hitting streak. See, Matt Holliday's hit 15 in a row. It's not the longest hitting streak of Walker's career. Last year he hit 18 straight.
Yeah, and the thing for Walker too is his numbers between left and right are pretty similar. He's better average and home runs from the left side, but he gets more at bats there. But you don't see the discrepancy in his swing from right-handed to left-handed.
There's what you're talking about.
And that's over his career.
It's typically about 3-1. The at-bats you're going to get as a switch hitter on the left side playing every day versus the right side. One out, nobody on, 3-1 on Neil Walker. And ball 4. That'll bring up Pedro Alvarez. He got all of Western PA out of their chairs late last night when he hit the first pitch from Rex Brothers after the long rain delay deep into the left field seats to tie the ball game in the top of the 9th.
It was about 12 rows deep, and I know it was a pitch away. You look at it, it was on the corner, but it was elevated. It was just below belt high.
Alvarez has now hit a home run in 3 straight ball games against the Rockies. He has 5 career bombs against Colorado
in 17 games.
Before he hit the home run last night, he was just 1 for his previous 17. Join in on the conversation. We do it in the 6th inning. Toyota Talk. Text Toyota to 720-720. Questions, thoughts, anything you got going. Plus learn how to win a $500 gas card courtesy of Toyota. Rockies looking for a ground ball here. And it's 2-1 on Alvarez. Pedro's got top shelf power. Like a lot of young power hitters. Not a lot of average right now and a lot of empty at bats.
94 strikeouts and 269 at bats.
That's more than a third of the time.
And that's up there in Mark Reynolds territory.
But he does have 18 home runs, which is a career high already. This is easy play for Rutledge. He got that into the kitchen. 2 outs in the 2nd inning. Michael McHenry coming up.
Suites and party facilities provide a great atmosphere to entertain VIP clients or celebrate a special event with friends and family. Call today 303 Rockies to get a sweet deal.
I said to Mike earlier, I said, man, you look like you're leaned out. He said, yep, lost about 10 pounds in the off season, and he's maintained his weight at just a little under 210 pounds. This is a strong guy. And Mike hit a lot of home runs in the minor leagues with the Rockies.
Just remember how big his legs are. I mean, the catcher's legs, just from squatting so much. They like Earl Campbell.
Between 07 and 2010, Huey, he had 62 home runs, which was the most for any Rocky minor league player during that period of time. Yeah, he's sturdy.
Well, 14 out of the 26 hits for Michael now have been extra base hits for the Pirates.
He's hit well against lefties, .316. He was commenting about Willeen Rosario. He said he's going to be really good. And talking about the process of learning how to catch in the big leagues. And he said that's the last, that's the hardest piece.
Well, just the difficulty in calling your own game, what the pitcher has, pitching to their strengths, the hitter's weaknesses.
And this is a broken bat bleeder that's going to drop for a hit, and Walker's going to go all the way to third. The old good pitch, bad result.
Happens. You just keep making enough good pitches, good things will happen. Mike Shaw, Subaru Supermo. Watch the bat break and explode, pieces going everywhere. Michael's not sure where the ball's going. He sees it. That made grass. If you're playing the game that hitters like to play after batting practice or the last round, when you say if you get a base hit, you'll get another round. Well, they wouldn't have given him a base hit in the batting practice round.
No. That's it. You're
Even
done.
though it made grass, yeah, that doesn't count.
You're done. So Clint Barmas will step up. Barmas 1 for 4 yesterday. 7 for 15 against the Rockies. And the curveball misses. Outstanding numbers at Coors Field. Some big home runs among that 36 that you saw in the graphic. 2 outs, first and third. Here's the 1-0. Slowly hit back to Friedrich. Step and throw, and he threw it in the dirt, but Kadire scooped it. So there was a walk and a hit. 2 men left on in the second. We'll go to the bottom half of inning number 2. No score between the Rockies and the Pirates.
And we bring you tonight's Chevy's Dare to Compare. Chevy's full lineup of vehicles makes it the clear winner that the competition can't compete. Chevy made for Colorado. And tonight we have some comparisons when it comes to Cargo. He is overdue in terms of hitting a home run. He already had a plate appearance here tonight. It's been 101 plate appearance, the most in a row in his career in which he hasn't homered. The last time he homered was back on June 15th. You may remember that 8-run 10th inning at Detroit, that record-setting inning for the Rockies. They won it. He hasn't homered since that time. And guys, I talked to him earlier today, and he goes, they're not pitching me. He's getting change-ups in like 2-0, 2-1 counts. And I guess that comes with being an all-star, right?
That is part of the culture, I suppose,
yes.
of all-star status.
Yeah, and it's a sign of respect. They're not going to let Carlos Gonzalez beat them. I mean, anytime you play a ball club, I mean, the Rockies went into this series saying, okay, Andrew McCutchen is not going to beat us. the Pirates came in and said, Carlos Gonzalez is not going to beat us.
Right. Now, what you ordinarily have with the Rockies, which is, you know, a unique dynamic, is you have two All-Stars back-to-back. Alvarez reaches down and will throw out Rosario, and that you'd have Cargo batting third and Tulowitzki, if he's healthy, batting fourth. Now it's a pick-your-poison situation. You mentioned earlier Braun and Fielder playing together in Milwaukee. It's the same type of thing. So, okay, we're going to pass on Braun. Yes. Well, here comes Prince Fielder.
Yeah, when you don't have that extra guy to back you up, that's when you get the change-ups in a fastball count.
One out, Josh Rutledge will come up. Another solid outing yesterday for Rutledge. Had an RBI single, stole a base. He has not been overwhelmed at all. Jim Tracy made a great point to Rutledge. Actually, it may have been Carney Lansford. I'm sure they both made it, in fact. And after his first few days, he said, "How you feeling?" And he said, "Well, you know, I feel all right. I feel like I can, you know, hold my own, that type of thing." They said, "Well, good, because the last three guys you faced for Philadelphia, three of the better pitchers in the National League."
Well, and just looking at him and seeing him around the batting cage, you don't get that deer in the headlights look.
No, you don't.
And that tells you that he's comfortable in where he's at right now.
Cliff Lee and Cole Hamels. He went around. We have to update you on a couple of roster moves today. Chris Nelson with that irregular heartbeat. He remains hospitalized. They had to shock the heart to get it back into its normal rhythm. So he's going to be watched closely for the next week and can have just limited activity. Therefore, he was placed on the DL. Johnny Herrera has a left wrist infection. They think they got wildly enough from wearing a watch. And so DJ LeMahieu was brought back to the big leagues, and a very intriguing guy that we saw a lot of during spring training. You know, there's always that guy that's a fringe player to make the club that gets more at bats than anybody, and that was Andrew Brown. And Andrew Brown, this ball was well hit, a base hit for the pitcher Christian Friedrich. Anyhow, Andrew Brown was called up after a great spring training and then a slow start in Colorado Springs. He has been as good a hitter at the AAA level, period.
Yeah, he was an all-star. He's hitting .317 with 20 home runs, 84 RBIs down in the Springs last night, 3 for 5, couple RBIs.
Let's take a look at our Farmers Insurance report card to pick up on what you were saying.
Yeah, and that's what I was saying. Those numbers warrant, whether there was an injury or not, call-up numbers.
Sure.
Because you're talking 20 home runs, 28 doubles.
84 ribbies. He's a little more than halfway through the season.
Right. He was third in the PCL with those 20 home runs. He was second at the RBIs. Ryan Wheeler Reno had 90 RBIs, so he beat him by 6. But Andrew Brown can play right field. He has played some left field. But he's a good athlete. A little bit like McHenry in that he's not tall.
He's compact and
but
strong.
He's got pop.
He's got big pop. He hit one up on the concourse during batting practice. And I think it should be noted again, and we've discussed this throughout the season, there is a humidor down in Colorado Springs. The pitching
first
numbers,
year.
your first time, and the pitching numbers much better this year, and the offensive numbers are more down to earth. So when you look and see that average and the home runs, it's far more. I don't want to say numbers put up in the past weren't legitimate, as that swung on and missed. But I think you understand when you see 300 plus and 20 home runs, it is that much more meaningful this year.
Yeah, it's not where you have to. Do I subtract 50 points for a batting average like you used to, or do I subtract 7 to 8 home runs? Or what is that number? With the humidor, it acts more like what you would see or translate here at Coors Field.
1 and 2 on EY. Fouled off. Who wants tacos? Remember, when the Rockies score 7 or more during any ball game, go to participating Colorado Taco Bell locations the next day. Do it between 4 and 6 and get your Rockies taco special. 2 outs. Christian Friedrich, a base hit. Rockies have 3 hits. I remember talking to a player that spent some time in Colorado Springs and came up here years past, and I said, yeah, if you're not hitting 300 down there. And he said 300. He said, if you're not hitting 320. Eric Young strikes out against Bedard. We move to the 3rd inning, still with a couple of bagels up on the scoreboard. Time for our AT&T trivia question. What's the Rockies' rookie record for wins by a left-hander? Christian Friedrich with a modest 5-6 record, but he's leading the Rockies in victories with those 5.
Also leading the team with 69 strikeouts.
Eric Bedard will lead things off, and then it's the top of the order for Pittsburgh. The Rockies this year, check this out, are 16-14 in series openers. Won last night 5-4. In game 2, after they win game 1, so they've done it 16 times now, they're 2-13. So only twice have they gone and taken the series in the first 2 ball games.
And the last 2 series they played, both in Washington and against Philadelphia, they won the opening game. Now, they did take the series in Washington, but they had to wait till the Sunday game to win it.
And Bedard swings and fouls it off 1-2. And that's all for Eric Bedard. Foul tip held by Rosario. Strikeout number 1 tonight for Christian Friedrich. Last night the Rockies played as good a game as they've played all year defensively. This wonderful catch by Dexter Fowler. And then in the infield, Jordan Pacheco had the diving stab to his left, then to his right.
This is the one that you just have to love the athleticism from Josh Rutledge.
So you get Andrew McCutchen. Curveball misses, ball 1 on Alex Presley. Presley's hung in pretty well against lefties, hitting .304. He hit a 2-hopper to Rutledge his first time up. Here's the 1-0. And he falls behind 3-0. Let's see if he can come all the way back. 3-1.
And I like Rosario not setting up on a corner. He gave him enough plate that if he missed, it was still in the strike zone. 3-0. Same place again.
I think it's a pop-up that's going to fall out of play. 3-2.
Pretty much straight up for Presley. Dexter Fowler just a shade over in right center field.
And a base hit up the middle for Presley. Second hit for the Pirates. McHenry had the other hit that blooped to right. So Drew Sutton will come up. Wells Fargo customers, get your 2-for-1 Rockies tickets today by going to wellsfargo.com/Rockies. Wells Fargo Bank member FDIC. Drew Sutton's lived out of a suitcase all year. He went to camp with the Atlanta Braves. And then he was basically sold to the Pirates. The next day he was sold to the Tampa Bay Rays, and then he ended up back with the Bucks.
That's it?
For now.
Okay.
0-1 on Sutton.
So you're saying he lived out of a suitcase, but he also got a lot of suitcases.
Yeah, well, yeah, got a lot
so
of
he's got
new guard.
Pirates, a Rays, a Brave suitcase.
In the case of the Rays, I don't know if he was there long enough
to get one,
to get any of their paraphernalia. 0-2 on Sutton. Sutton last year split time between Pawtucket and the Red Sox. He hit .315 with the Red Sox with the big club. 31 games. The year before, it was the Tour of Ohio. He played with Cincinnati. He was also in Louisville that year. He was with Columbus and Cleveland. And this one is a slow one hopper, and the Rockies still turn it over. Nicely done. Rutledge to Scudero on to Kadire, and that's all for the Pirates in the third. Rockies and Pirates. Let's take a look again at our AT trivia question. Who has the record for rookie wins among left-handers? Well, by a bunch, it's Jeff Francis. His rookie season of 05, former #1 pick out of the University of British Columbia, went 14-12. Scudero, Fowler, and Gonzalez here in the third inning for Colorado. Bobby M. Jones in '98 won 7 games. That's the next highest number, and then Christian Friedrich with the 5. Scudero, ground ball toward the hole, base hit.
Finally found a hole for Marco Scudero. Hit the ball to center field right on the button and hit that ball better than he did this one, but this finds the 5-6 hole just out of the reach of Clint Barmas.
Dexter, a line single to right center field his first time up. And Dex pushes a bunt. That's a good looking bunt. Nobody to cover. And it's a base hit for Fowler. Scudero at second. 2 on, nobody out for number 5.
Smart play from Dexter Fowler. Just because he's hitting third in the lineup, don't take that bunt out of your arsenal. You've got an inexperienced guy in Jason McGee who's only played 40-plus games at the big league level at first base. But watch McGee come in here. Where's the confusion? Nobody's over there. Where's the second baseman? Oh, there he is.
Too far to go. Perfectly executed bunt. Dexter's 2 for 2, his 7th multi-hit game. Go Cargo go. That's creative. I like it. 7th multi-hit game for Fowler in his last 9 outings. Gonzalez had an infield hit his first time up. Great opportunity for the Rockies. They're in the right place in the order against Eric Bedard. And Cargo hits a double play ball. Nicely done by Clint Barmas at short. As he threw the baseball, he got both of his spikes out of the dirt, with Dexter Fowler bearing down on him. 2 outs, a runner at third base, and Scudero for Kadire.
A rollover 2-hopper to the second baseman. Strong throw. Dexter Fowler just right into with the leg whip to Clint Barmas, but get that throw up, get the spikes out, and jump over the top of them just like you're taught.
Well, the Rockies had the big 5th inning yesterday. Other than that, nothing much doing offensively till they got that run in the 9th inning. And this ball toward left center, it's got a drop, and it's off the glove of Presley, and the Rockies get a run. Going to second base is Kadire. Presley did the hard part. He got in the neighborhood, then he just flat dropped it.
You wonder if it got up into the bank of lights. Was it high enough? Because he got the jump and he reaches out. No, he just whipped on it. That's an error for Presley, his 2nd error of the season.
Jordan Pacheco grounded to short in the first inning when the Rockies had loaded the bases. That ended that threat. this one to third. Alvarez has it, and a strong throw. Pacheco's out. Rockies get an unearned run in the third inning to take a 1-0 lead on Pittsburgh. Colorado Rockies baseball on Root Sports is brought to you by the Ford Fiesta with 40 MPG. It's a pretty big deal. Ford Fiesta Drive 1. By AT&T, the nation's largest 4G network. AT&T, rethink possible. And by King Soopers, more value for the way you live. Rockies leading 1-0 on the error by the left fielder Alex Presley. Pretty night at Coors Field. Haven't gotten the official attendance, but this is a big crowd. I'm looking around. A lot of
looking at the upper deck.
Yeah, a lot of folks in the upper deck. The rock pile is almost completely full. Last night, 36,000+, and by the looks of it, tonight will eclipse that. Andrew McCutchen, ground ball to third, his first time. Fastball misses away. Ball one. Slider for a strike. You know, the Rockies lately, Huey, just trying to scratch out runs any way they can. They haven't erupted offensively in a while. Probably have to go back to Padres a couple of weeks ago. This ball's hammered. It's got to get foul. It is a fair ball. Andrew McCutchen has just tied things up with his 22nd home run of the year with those lightning hands of his.
If there was any doubt why he was in the home run hitting contest at the All-Star game, although he didn't win it, was answered with that swing. 6
home runs in his last 6 games. Look how far this thing went.
He's just standing at home plate. Mike Shaw Subaru Supermo right on the sweet spot of the bat. He got every bit of energy behind that swing.
When you hit them up on the concourse, they were well struck.
Not only far, but it is high.
Eric Young using the great speed to come up with that ball in foul territory. I don't know how many right fielders make that play.
Not many, but not many have the speed of an Eric Young Jr. And he's worked so hard in his outfield play to get the jump that he got on this baseball, and how far he had to travel, and he even had time to break it down at the end. It wasn't an all-out layout for it. He caught that with room to spare.
One out, Neil Walker coming to the plate in a 1-1 game. I was talking about the fact the Rockies haven't gone off offensively in a while. You know, in Washington, they won a ball game 4-3, won a ball game 5-1. Last time they put up a crooked number was June 29th. They beat the Padres at home 10-2. The previous day, they had won 11-10 in 11 innings. But since then, it's been about 4 runs a game on average.
Yeah, you're looking at this, and the St. Louis series, the most they scored in that series to go was 3. Washington, it was 5. Philadelphia, the 6 runs in the first game after the All-Star break. Maybe the only other time prior to the 2 times that you mentioned, Drew, was that game down in Texas when they got out to the big lead and then they had to hold on in that game. They ended up winning the game 11-7.
Yeah, that looked like it was going to be a laugher, and then it almost became a nail biter. Here's a little more on Mr. McCutchen, the 2-time defending National League Player of the Week. Can we go ahead and give him the Player of the Month award in July? He's hitting .533 in July. The only guy in his neighborhood's the guy at the plate. Neil Walker's hitting .478.
25 hits for McCutchen in July now. Neil Walker has 22 hits in the month of July. Yeah, McCutchen won the National League Player of the Month in June. The 17th of July. He has to be the leading vote getter right now.
Well, Pittsburgh's behind those 2 guys. Second in the big leagues in runs scored in July. Another chance for Ewok. 2 outs. And that'll bring up Pedro Alvarez, who hit a little flare to short his first time up. Hear from our own Cowboy every week by visiting the Write-'em Cowboy section of the Root Sports website. Hall of Famer Tracy Ringlesby will bring you Rockies game notes and other interesting stories. Check out his game notes on this series by visiting rootsports.com/Rocky Mountain. Alvarez takes ball 1. I think one of the important things to look at with any pitcher, when something bad happens, when you have a little bit of adversity, how do you handle it? And he's gotten the next 2 after the long home run. That's a strike.
That's where he's learned. Even last start, think back to that St. Louis start for him where it unraveled in the 5th inning for him. He couldn't stop it. The game sped up too much.
Good pitch. 1-2.
But every time you step out on a baseball field, you put the pants on, you tighten up the spikes, you learn something about the game and about yourself.
Like the location of that. Alvarez.
That's where he was jammed on that flare to shortstop back in the 2nd inning. You have him set up thinking inside. If you want to throw a fastball or a hard slider away, you can do that.
He's got a pretty good slider tonight.
Right, but you can start it middle to look like a fastball, take it to the outside corner, and you should get Alvarez to wave at it.
That was a good slider. A lot of depth on that slider. When we say depth, we're talking about downward movement as opposed to east-west movement. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Pedro Alvarez.
And with the slider, it has to be late, within the last 10 to 12 feet from the plate. Because by that time, as a hitter, you can't recognize it. You're starting your swing already.
3-2. You can't replicate experience. You can go over game situations, you can throw a simulated game, you can throw a ton of minor league games. You have to do it repeatedly at this level. Nicely done as he goes off speed, strikes out Pedro Alvarez. Andrew McCutchen hits a long home run. It's 1-1 as we go to the bottom of the fourth.
One because of an Andrew McCutchen home run for the Pirates as we go bottom four. I'm kind of down the left field line. That home run went that way. It was high, it was far, it was out on the concourse. And I'll bet you some of the Pirates were doing the Zoltan. I'm going to show you some video here and tell you the story. Neil Walker was watching the movie Dude, Where's My Car with some of the teammates in April. And there's a part of the movie where they're wrapped in like plastic bubble wrap, and Zoltan is the guy that they're trying to be an alien with. I don't know how to explain it other than that. So they do this sign, the Z, and that's now the Pirates' kind of calling card whenever they have a big play. Last night, we saw them do it when Jeff Karstens had a single over Kadyr's head over first base and scored a run. You saw the pitcher do it back to the dugout. Have you guys seen that before? It's kind of a bonding thing, right?
Huey and I do that. When you know, if Huey gets off a particularly good line, we usually flash the Z at each other. Right.
It's usually off camera, though.
Right.
It's the thing
every
for the
once
Pirates.
in a while you can catch it. We have like 17 cameras
this
strung.
way?
Well, no, it's like this. Come on, get it right.
Sorry.
There you go.
There we go.
Yeah.
That's bad.
You feel a little hipper? You feel any hipper or no?
No.
3 balls and a strike on Willeen Rosario.
The Rangers had something like that last year. What was it? A claw action or something like that?
There's a lot of free time, folks, in the game of baseball. Ball 4, Willeen, tough man to walk, leads off against Bedard in the 4th with a walk. And he's fired up because when he gets out to a base and he sees nobody in front of him, he thinks, man, that's open space. I can run a little bit.
I can try to steal one.
That's right. The baby bull out on the base pass. Josh Rutledge coming up. Second walk allowed by Bedard. How about Rosario, by the way? Talk about repetitions making you better. He's hitting .329 over the last 5 weeks. He was hitting just .219 through the first couple weeks of June.
But why is that? Because he knew that he was going to be in there every single game, and when he got the day off, it was just for a rest and to be back in there. But he comes through in the clutch last night. The Pirates had tied it up 4-4. And what does he do? He gets the fastball, doesn't miss it, gets the base hit.
This down the right field line. If it's fair, it's trouble. It is fair. Into the corner. And here comes Rosario toward the plate. He'll score easily. Head to third with a triple is Josh Rutledge. Another RBI for the rookie from the University of Alabama. Josh Rutledge with his 4th ribby, and Rosario indeed got to run.
And he likes that. Open the motor up and scoot all the way home. Rutledge, ball down and in, inside out the swing, and then it kicks off the dirt towards the wall. Drew Sutton can't cut it off. He thinks he's got it, but he doesn't. Josh Rutledge with the triple.
Inside ball 1. You have to be alert here if you're Pittsburgh for the potential for a squeeze.
It's the 34 triple for the Rockies. That's a major league lead, 34 triple.
Rutledge should be able to get a big lead against the lefty. And that's the Pardemois swing.
But Rutledge, I know what you're saying, Drew. He can get the bigger lead, but you don't want to get too far if he hooks one to Pedro Alvarez where you would get doubled up.
Friedrich had a solid single to center his first time up. Sure, he'd love to hit the ball right now, somewhere in the middle of the field. Infield's halfway. Rutledge a plus runner at third base.
With nobody out, I would be surprised if they sent him on contact.
Strike 3. And the demarcation in that decision is typically 1 out.
Right. It just locked Christian up. Well, the bunt is still in play for Eric Young Jr. Even if the Pirates stay with the infield alignment as is, with the corners in, I mean, we've seen Eric put balls right over onto that line with the left-hander.
And fortunately, that got on the ground before McGee could make the catch.
Well, it's a good thing he didn't hit this any harder.
Or any softer, depending on how you want to describe that.
Well, I'm thinking any harder, because if he hits it harder, it's an out by Casey McGee.
Yeah. And this is fouled off out of play. Bedard, the Ontario, Canada native, kind of bust Junior in.
He made his debut back in April of 2002. He became the 200th Canadian to appear in the big leagues.
His best season came in 06 with Baltimore. He went 15-11, backed it up the next year, going 13-5 with a 3.16. Two-strike count. Good block by McHenry. Bedard, a teammate of Jeff Francis on Team Canada during the World Baseball Classic in 06.
He's 60-60 in his career.
Went to Norwalk Junior College, Norwalk, Connecticut. Strike 3. Junior knew it, and Bedard with a big strikeout there.
This was set up from the first 2 strikes that Eric Young Jr. fouled off. He got jammed. He was looking in.
Runner on third, nobody out, and Bedard gets back-to-back strikeouts. Now, not unexpected with the pitcher, but you're hoping Eric Young can get it in play there. Now the infield drops back. It'll take a 2-out knock. Scutaro at the plate, and he drives it to center field. McCutcheon will get back and make the play. Marco hit virtually the same ball back in the first inning. Rockies take the lead on the Rutledge triple, 2-1. Pirates, we go to the top of the 5th inning. Clint has his in-game habit, working that gum over pretty well. Last year, the Pirates had a terrific first half and then dealt with a lot of injuries, kind of fell apart in the second half. And Clint told his club in spring training to remember a few items going into 2012.
3 things, lessons you learned when we were going well. Give me 3 things that you learned when we didn't play well the last 2 months. And then I gave them 3 assignments for the winter with the help of Neil Huntington. 3 things to focus, not a bunch, but 3 things that I thought they could take home. If they could improve their individual game in these 3 areas, they're going to be better and the team's going to be better. So we kind of just got rid of the stain and say, okay, what happened. Here's what we're going to do to be better for next year so it doesn't happen again. And I do think they all embraced that concept and that idea, and they came in open-eyed with a commitment level that was real and a hunger that was real. And as I said, so far so good. You know, we got a long way to go, but we fought hard and we've earned our position at this point.
And they believe they can sustain this first half through the second half. I feel like their depth's a little bit better. Neil Huntington, the general manager, looking at different players now. They want to be buyers.
Well, they're still looking for one more big bat, maybe a corner outfield to use that bat.
2-0, and now 2-1 on McHenry.
But I like what Clint had to say. It made the players focus on some self-evaluation. And that is a hard thing to do for a player. To look back and honestly say, what do I need to do to help the team and myself get better? Because your whole career, you've made it to the big leagues, so you must be doing a lot of things right, but there's always room for improvement.
And ball 4, Friedrich with his second walk. It's McHenry leading off the 5th inning. Now Clint Barmes will come up. Now, Tulsa tonight, the Drillers leading Springfield 3-0 in the 6th inning. Josh Outman pitching very well, a 2-hit shutout through the first 6 frames. Strike one on Barmes. He had a comebacker his first time up.
One of the 6 ground ball outs that Friedrich has got tonight. With 4 flyouts, a couple punch outs.
Tonight's CenturyLink high-speed pitch, fast speed and a low monthly price. Visit CenturyLink.com. Christian Friedrichs topped out at 95. Bedard at 92. Barmes played 665 games in a Rockies uniform, 11th all-time. Pitch out, nothing on. It's funny, I was talking to Mike McHenry. He's got a little grin on his face. Ooh, they pitched down with me at first. He's another guy that runs pretty well for a catcher.
Well, and Clint Hurdle's style is that he likes the hit and run.
Especially with a guy who's scuffling like Barmes.
Now it could be in play.
And it's 3-1. Again, it may be in play here.
If there's any a time a 3-1 count, this could be it.
Not going, and that misses. Ball 4. And now Friedrich has walked the first 2, and he was in a real good place, not only in the game, but also in the lineup.
Yeah, you're working 7, 8, 9. .71 pitches, 40 for strikes for Christian. They're talking about their bunt defense, how they're going to play it. Is Jordan going to be charging at third? Are they going to run the wheel play? But also to give Friedrich an opportunity to catch his breath, refocus. A couple games ago too, they ran that back pick at first base where you get Scudero would go over, and Ramon Hernandez caught John Mayberry napping at first.
You were a good bunter. One of the difficult things, you talk about BP in the afternoon and 60-mile-an-hour pitches coming in, 55-mile-an-hour pitches. Well, the same thing with bunting. Pitchers will work on their bunting, but all of a sudden when it's 92 with movement, chance for the runner at third, but the defense they had employed there had Pacheco crashing, and they were conceding the runner there. So a successful bunt by Bedard. Runners at second and third, 1 out.
And this is what you're talking about, Drew. Watch Pacheco come in right here. So that leaves McHenry being able to walk over to third base. Everybody's in the middle of the field. And all Willeen can do is throw it to Scudero for the force out.
The way Friedrich came off the mound, it looked like he had the left side.
Well, and it looked like a misread from Jordan to go that far down from where the bunt was. Not a bad thought from Willeen with the open angle to throw and the left-handed hitter. You don't have to worry about getting up over the top of a right-handed hitter or throwing it around him.
The 1 on Presley, and this will tie up the game. Presley's quick. Friedrich lost his glove trying to field that. If he fields that, they're going to have McHenry at the plate.
Well, and the other thing, too, is the second base umpire, Gary Cederstrom, is signaling a safe call. What he's saying is it wasn't an intentional act of throwing the glove at the ball. It just came off at the stretch attempt.
And that's an accurate call.
It is, because if he throws it intentionally, then it's 2 or 3 bases.
I think it's 3 bases, isn't it?
I think it is.
Drew Sutton at the plate in a 2-2 game. Breaking ball for a strike. Barmes at third. Friedrich's been able to go 6 innings his last couple outings, and that's going to give Pittsburgh the lead. Drew Sutton pokes it through the right side, and it's 3-2, and those walks just absolutely kill you. And that's something Friedrich had not been doing. And then he walks McHenry and Barmes, and both end up scoring here in the 5th inning.
And now Jim Tracy's going to have to look at the lineup card.
Well, you got Andrew McCutchen, who you're hoping to have lead off next inning, as opposed to hit here with a man on base.
And Ottavino was going to be the piggyback guy. We've seen Jim get up different guys like a Matt Reynolds to try to just clean up an inning, finish it off.
Pirates ahead 3-2. Time now for the Farmers Insurance Report Card. So who are the MVP candidates, you ask, in the National League currently? Well, we've compiled 5. Andrew McCutchen maybe at the top of the list. 373 average, 22 home runs, 65 RBIs. Carlos Beltran's had a great year for the Cardinals. David Wright has done exceptionally well for the Mets. Ryan Braun, last year's MVP. Those are MVP numbers again. And Melky Cabrera doesn't have the home runs, but he's hitting .353 and leading the Giants. Try to pick one right now. He's standing in the batter's box. Pirates are 9 games over. And this guy's the focal point of their offense.
Well, I just take, if you look at the other ball clubs, if you take those other 4 guys off their club, they're still a good ball club. But if you take Andrew McCutchen away from the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Tough play. Scudero can't make it, and going first to third is Drew Sutton. Another hit for Andrew McCutchen. So he's now 50 for his last 103. This is the major leagues. You don't go 50 for 103.
And it's not a video game. This is real live Major League pitching, but Major League hitting from Andrew McCutchen.
The way he's going, you may just have to pass on him. If he could do any damage, hey, here you go. There's 4 wide ones. Go to first.
Even if there's somebody at first base.
Casey McGee's 0 for 2. Next pitch will be Friedrich's 80th. This pretty much, and this gets away, and another run's going to come home. So Friedrich has not handled adversity that he created here in the 5th inning. And it's a 4-2 score.
And we've seen Christian, when he gets in these situations where he'll over-rotate on the breaking pitch. Mike Shaw Subaru Supermo illustrate where this pitch was. I mean, that's a good foot and a half out in front of home plate. And even though it's softer in that area, that's still kicked up off the shoulder of Rosario because of where it was in the plate.
I'm saying it pretty much ensures, obviously, that Friedrich will only go 5 tonight. Still got to get through this inning.
Yeah, Matt Reynolds is firing down in the bullpen. And this might, depending on what happens with McGee, it might be his last hitter.
One and two on McGee. Rockies have 43 wild pitches. That is the most in the National League.
And come to the ballpark early on July 29th for Pentax Photo Day and take photos with the Rockies players and coaches. All fans will receive a 2012 Rockies team poster courtesy of Pentax.
And now Rosario go out and visit with Friedrich, and the Rockies have been out in the field for a while. Sixth inning, Toyota Talk will come your way. Text Toyota to 720-720. And a base hit. Cargo getting the baseball, but he won't have a play. Another run comes around on Christian Friedrich. McCutchen makes it 5-2 Pittsburgh, and see if Jim Tracy comes up the stairs. He will. That'll be all for Friedrich. So another situation where he has, in quotes, one of those innings that he just can't turn around. And it was self-inflicted. 2 walks to begin the inning in the bottom third of the order. I mean, McHenry's a part-time player. Clint Barmes we love, but Barmes hitting just over the Mendoza line.
206.
So Christian Friedrich walks off trailing 5-2. Matt Reynolds on board when we come back. In the 5th inning, and the 8th man to come up in the inning will be Neil Walker. After watching the Rockies play on Sunday, stick around for Rockies Weekly with Jim Tracy every week. Look for the keyword during the show. Text it to 720-720 for a chance to receive prizes. Tune in this Sunday right after the ball game. Rockies will be in San Diego this weekend. Neil Walker will face Matt Reynolds, trying to get the Rockies to the dugout. The Rockies began the inning, the half inning, with a 2-1 lead. But again, back-to-back walks of McHenry and Barmes, a sac bunt by Bedard, Alex Presley an RBI ground out, and then Sutton a single, McCutchen a single, Casey McGee a single. And there was also a wild pitch. That's a knock. And they'll go first to third on that. So McGee will stop at third. Right now, it's put in a quarter and watch everybody go around the merry-go-round, huh?
And a lot of it with 2 outs. You got the sack bunt and then the out from Presley. Had an opportunity to put this inning down with just giving up 1 run. But now it's hit, hit, hit. And another hit for Neil Walker. He extends his hit streak to 17 games.
That's right. Pedro Alvarez at the plate as the Pirates have hit around here in the 5th inning. That's a strike. And Alvarez, a strikeout victim to finally end the inning. 4 runs for the Pirates as they hit around, and they have a 5-2 lead. Pirates leading 5-2 after that 4-run inning. So the Rockies will try to counter. Dexter Fowler hitting in the 3rd spot tonight. He'll be followed by Carlos Gonzalez and Michael Kadire against Eric Bedard, who's lost his last 4 starts. Dexter's 2 for 2 in the game, a single to right center and a bunt single. Those 2 hits, the average at .305.
Both hits coming right-handed. He came into the game hitting .297 right-handed.
Mentioned what Josh Outman's doing tonight down in Tulsa. We haven't talked about Kyle Parker, the Rockies' #1 a couple of years ago out of Clemson. He's got the average at 312 in the California League for Modesto with 9 home runs and 35 RBIs.
He's been on a tear lately.
Jared Clark, who's a first baseman, his average isn't great, 249, but he's hit 20 home runs, driven in 72.
Delta Cleary has picked it up for Modesto since being moved up from Asheville.
Two on decks and slowly hit to third. Alvarez on the move. Good play.
Boy, he got rid of that baseball.
Clint was talking about his defense before the ball game, and he said he has really worked hard at it.
Well, you can tell from this play, he got the jump, knowing who's running. Not a whole lot of time to get the grip on the ball. You just reach into your glove, you get it the same motion, fire it to first.
Cargo's 1 for 2 an infield hit, and then he grounded into a 4-6-3 double play. Cargo lays down a bunt, and Alvarez didn't get it.
Wow, that was closer than I thought.
I honestly am surprised at that. I thought he was going to eat the baseball, and he made it a bang-bang play.
Carlos Gonzalez, besides Eric Young Jr., might be the best bunter on the ball club. This Mike Shaw Subaru Supermo shows you just how close the play was at first base from where the bunt was.
You know what? I would agree with you. I mean, Cargo, for all his talents, there's nothing he doesn't do well, and I would state the same thing, that he's the best bunter for a hit on the team.
Pedro Alvarez, just watching that play, 9 out of 10 third basemen would just pick it up, toss it back to the pitcher, say, go get the next guy.
Side on Kadire. One and two on Michael.
Must be extra movement or cut from Bedard tonight. Because Kadire got fisted and fouled that one off. Eric Young Jr., same thing.
Adam Ottavino throwing in the Rockies' pen. Rockies trailing 5-2, hits even at 7. Ground ball deep in the hole. Barmes, nice play. They turn it into a 6-4-3 double play. Well, Clint Barmes has struggled offensively this year, but his defense has been typically outstanding. So the Rockies are done in the 5th. We go to the 6th with the score 5-2 Pittsburgh.
Michael McHenry on deck behind me, a former Rocky. Clint Barmas, of course, a former Rocky, just turned that double play. I asked Clint Barmas about playing with Todd Helton. Listen to what he said.
I still wouldn't be in the big leagues without him, probably. He saved me so many times at short, second, wherever I played on the infield, and it got to the point where I became a better defensive player because of anytime I rushed or got in a hurry at all, I just throw it at his feet and know that if I got it close to him, he's going to pick it.
Yeah, Helton is that good, and funny that Clint Barmas would say that. I was looking for his wife, Summer, here tonight. She's really popular with the fans, but I couldn't find her, but a great lady. But Clint Barmas back in town, guys.
Always good to see the Barmas family, and they make their off-season home here. They're back for the All-Star break. Summer and their two kids. Adam Ottavino on for the 29th time. Michael McHenry's at the plate. First pitch missed, ball one.
He's turned into one of three guys that Jim Tracy uses in that piggyback role. Josh Rutledge is another one. Sometimes turns to Carlos Torres.
And for Christian Friedrich, it turns into a somewhat disappointing outing. I was going to say an uneven outing, and he was very good the first 3 innings, and then, or actually the first 4 innings, he was very good. He gave up the solo home run to McCutchen, leading off the 4th.
But it was a solo home run.
Yeah, and listen, McCutchen's going to hit home runs off a lot of people. He's getting hits off of everybody. But then in the 5th inning, he had a chance, if he has a clean 5th inning, to work into the 6th again. But 2 walks, a sac bunt, things unraveled from there. Matt Reynolds ultimately had to get the final out.
Really, the difference in this game is 5-2, but when Eric Bedard got into trouble, I look back at the 4th inning when he had the leadoff walk and the triple to Josh Rutledge. He just gave up the 1 run. He got strikeout, line out.
Hard on the ground to third. Pacheco looks it in, and a good throw to get Michael McHenry.
Yeah, and the other inning too was in the 3rd inning. Had leadoff walk or a leadoff base hit by Marco Scudero. Dexter Fowler with the base hit, but then a ground ball double play in the air. But Bedard only gave up the 1 run in each inning. But where Christian couldn't stop the bleeding.
Right. And that's what the good pitchers do. They're able to minimize damage. Barmas walked and scored in the 5th inning, 0 for 1. And Clint takes ball 1. Clint signed a 2-year deal as a free agent in the offseason, reuniting with Clint Hurdle. He was with Houston last year. Two and one off Barmas. Eric Young Jr. makes the catch, and they're 2 outs. Had a question about who the next rookie that we'd see. It would be Andrew Brown.
I just recalled today with Jonathan Herrera going on the disabled list. You mentioned it's Jonathan's left wrist. It has nothing to do with his right shoulder that was inflamed and giving him problems right around the All-Star break.
Ottavino works a 1-2-3 6th inning. We'll go to the bottom half of the 6th. 5-2 Pittsburgh. Well, the Rockies have to get their offense rocking and rolling, down 5-2 as we go to the bottom of the 6th inning.
That was good.
What?
Well, you tied that all in.
Let's do their Z thing.
No, that's not.
Jordan Pacheco will lead things off against Eric Bedard. Breaking ball's in there for a strike. Pacheco, ground ball to short, ground ball to third. Did you hear about the concert in Hyde Park in London on Saturday night, Huey?
No.
Very disturbing. Bruce Springsteen playing Hyde Park. And I guess they have this new rule in Hyde Park that the curfew is 10:30. This ball in the air to left. And Cutchin's going to slide over actually in left center and make the catch. And right around 10:30, Bruce Springsteen brought up a special guest, Sir Paul McCartney. Last time I checked, pretty big all around the globe, particularly you would think back in his native land. Well, they played two together, and then all of a sudden somebody pulled the plug on the microphone and said, "No, you're done."
Ooh.
The mayor of London was very unhappy.
Yeah, that's
you
that's
just
not
don't
a good
pull.
thing.
Yeah, you don't pull the plug on Sir Paul McCartney and the boss. With one out, William Rosario at the plate, 0 for 1 and a walk.
Bedard tonight, 9 ground ball outs, 3 flyouts, 4 strikeouts.
And a rollover ground ball. Barmas, 2 outs. Yeah, so you've been struggling. You've lost 4 straight starts. You come to Coors Field, you get healthy, huh?
You go figure. And in those 4 starts, we had mentioned it. Giving up walks and base hits. And generally not been pitching well.
Jeff, this replay brought to you by the Colorado Lottery Second Chance Drawing. It's a triple by Josh Rutledge to score a run through October 1st. Enter your non-winning scratch tickets at coloradolottery.com. 2 outs, nobody on, and Rutledge up there again, and he gets the slow hook for a strike. First career triple for Rutledge. I'm trying to think here. Opening week, he's got everything out of the way but a
big fly
ball. Yep, the big fly. Strong inning for Eric Bedard. We are through 6. The Pirates holding a 3-run advantage on the Rockies. Lexus, look back. third inning. Michael Kadire lines one to left field, and Alex Presley had an oops. He didn't make the catch, and that allowed Marco Scudero to score 1-0 Colorado. Then Andrew McCutchen tried to hit one to Fort Collins, and he almost succeeded. For McCutchen, his 22nd of the year, 1-1. But then Rutledge would give the Rockies a 2-1 lead with this triple down the right field line. Rosario comes around, but the fifth inning unraveled for Friedrich. He walked the first two. He gave up an RBI ground out there, and then a punch single by Drew Sutton. And a wild pitch, and then the base hit by McGee, allowing McCutchen to score. He went 4 2/3, 5-2 Pittsburgh. The Pirates this year, when they lead after 6 innings, 38-1. Alex Presley, 1 for 3, a ribby. Facing Adam Ottavino. Second inning of work for Ottavino, and then that's fouled off.
It gets even better if they're leading after 7. They're 42-0. It's part of that bullpen that they've constructed with Jason Grilli, Juan Cruz, but Hanrahan to clean it up.
Continuing in the minor leagues, Jeffrey. I haven't called you Jeffrey in a while. David Dahl, the Rockies' #1 pick, is playing for the Grand Junction Rockies. High school kid out of Alabama. Ground ball to short. To another kid from Alabama, Josh Rutledge. He's hitting .330 with a couple of home runs, 17 RBIs. He has 8 doubles and 3 triples. Pretty impressive.
It is.
For David Dahl out of Birmingham.
Steve Garvey boy is putting up some good numbers as well in Grand Junction.
You are correct. I'll tell you exactly what he's doing. He's right now he's hitting .281. He's hit 3 home runs.
The support they're getting over the western slope, that is so neat to see. They deserve it. They've done so much with baseball, of course, with the Junior College World Series out there at Sam Simplesio Field.
I was talking to some members of the ownership group yesterday. You and I both were, and they're averaging better than 2,500 a night, something like that. Had some big crowds. It's a great baseball town. Our old friend Jamie Hamilton. Title, Mr. Baseball, moved from the late Sam Simplesio, who coached you in the big leagues, to Jamie. We haven't gotten attendance yet tonight, man. Speaking of
it's got to be.
It may be 40,000.
Not too many empty seats tonight.
Good pitch.
Hitting the road. You can subscribe to MLB.tv to see every Rockies out-of-market game online and on your favorite devices in HD quality. It's a handy app to have for your phone, iPad, anything else you might travel with, your computer.
High fly ball to center field. Dexter Fowler with the good feet working around the baseball. Sutton is retired. Now bring up McCutchen. Home run, single in 3 trips.
Did we get a distance on that home run? It had to be 440 feet.
It came back in as very far. That was the official distance.
That was the official one?
Yes. That's where it landed. It landed right in front of.
Like right there.
Madeleine's. Almost took somebody out in the line for ice cream.
Ice cream shop. You want 1 scoop or 2 in a baseball? What do you want?
Well, it'd be 2 scoops. 1 to eat, and the other to ice your arm where the baseball struck you, right? 1-0 on McCutchen.
This is the home run we were talking about from Andrew McCutchen. The oohs and ahs in the ice cream shop.
Two and one on McCutchen. You know who's trying to remake their career? Brian Wright, who was drafted in the second round of the 07 draft as an outfielder, position player. Left-handed bat, left-handed thrower. Well, now he's in Grand Junction as a pitcher. It's been solid
Louisiana
so far.
Tech star.
Yeah. He's been working out of the bullpen. 4 of his last 5 outings have been scoreless ones for Wright. Not the first to try that.
Nope.
Ball 4, McCutchen walks.
Why not? He's left-handed. Strong arm.
Big arm, yep.
Don't fall asleep on McCutchen at first base. He also has 14 stolen bases in 18 attempts. Perfect chance to run first or second pitch if you're Andrew McCutchen. I like the way McCutchen, when he gets his lead, he turns his left foot and has it pivoted towards second base, and almost a sprinter type coming out of the box.
One strike count on McGee. The home run by McCutchen earlier in the ballgame, the 99th hit by the Pirates this year, which is 12th in baseball. Last year, they hit 107 the entire year, which was 27th in the game.
It's also the 60th they have hit out on the road. 60 home runs out on the road,
which is number 1 in the National League. And Clint Hurdle, we had a soundbite earlier. Clint saying he challenged his guys the offseason. Tell me 3 things that worked, 3 things basically that didn't work, kind of off-season homework, and work on things individually to get better collectively. Well, offensively, they're a whole lot better. And they're a real close-knit team, and I think winning always makes things that way. I suppose not always, but a good portion of the time. But you can tell they really like each other. They've grown together, and they're on a collective mission to get Pirate baseball back to what it was for so many years.
The city is starting to buy into their program.
A lot of jerseys when you go to the ballpark. You see plenty of McCutchen and Walker, the local kid jerseys. You see a lot of Clint Hurdle jerseys too. Also.
He's re-energized that with the Penguins and what they've done in the NHL. Of course, the Steelers, everybody knows about that. But when you haven't won since '92,
he was the perfect hire, as well as we know Clint, with the high energy and the great optimism. He was the perfect hire. McCutchen takes off and out at the plate. This is academic, a strikeout at the plate. But to finish that thought, Clint was the perfect hire in Pittsburgh. One of his favorite statements, and he means it, is if he's going to do something, he's all in. Well, he's all in Pittsburgh. He lives there now. You see him at Penguin games. Pirate fans love him. Why not? They're having a great year. Seventh inning, Drew Goodman, Jeff Houston, Mark Stout from Coors Field. Happy you're with us on Root Sports. Rockies trying to turn the tables in the late innings on the Pirates. Eric Bedard has been the story tonight. And here is Andrew Brown getting his first Colorado Rockies at bat, tearing it up in AAA. Again, he was brought up today. The Rockies had to disable 2 players. Chris Nelson, because of that irregular heartbeat, they had to shock his heart back into normalcy, if you will. And Johnny Herrera had a left wrist infection. Andrew Brown, DJ LeMahieu brought up. Of course, it'll be the second stint for LeMahieu. 2-0 on Andrew Brown. This kid's got a lot of pop. 3-0.
If you're listening, Chris Nelson, get well soon.
Yeah, we hope to see
that's
Nelly shortly.
Scary. The numbers we mentioned earlier tonight about Andrew Brown.
3-0. He'll be taken here. Rockies down by 3 runs. New right fielder Drew Sutton's out of the ball game. Gorkys Hernandez is in right field. Good pass through the zone there by Brown. 3-2. Mike Ekstrom.
Yeah, Mike Ekstrom in the bullpen for the Rockies. Just recall the week or so.
This ball's hit well to right field. Hernandez going back, and he'll make the catch.
That's why Clint Hurdle put Hernandez in there, more of a true outfield compared to Drew Sutton.
If I remember right, Hernandez at one point a top prospect in the Tigers chain.
Tigers, exactly right.
Got a good jump.
It's been his hitting that has had him on the shuttle between AAA and the big leagues. But the jump on this baseball made that look routine.
Eric Young Jr. getting a start tonight, playing right field, 0 for 3. Barmas got that first hop, so important, especially with a guy that can fly. 2 outs.
The first 20,000 fans on July 28th, the game against the Cincinnati Reds will receive a Troy Tulowitzki shirt courtesy of Coca-Cola. Call 1-800-388-ROCK. Go online to ColoradoRockies.com or any of the other locations for tickets for the Troy Tulowitzki t-shirt giveaway. Remember, it's just the first 20,000 fans.
And the 0-1 is lined to right, and that's a base hit for Marco Scutaro. Second hit tonight for Marco.
He's reached base now 38 out of the last 42 games for Marco Scutaro.
He's really been steady, and we never talk about his age. He plays every day. He's 36.
36.
He's the one guy you just go,
oh, he's in the lineup? Sure.
He's in the lineup every day. You think he's 26, and he plays like he's 26. Who Wants Tacos fans, if you'd like to receive text message alerts when the Rockies do score 7 in a game, for the Rockies Tacos special, text TACO to 720-720. Feed your Rockies fever only at Taco Bell. Dexter Fowler, 2 for 3. The Pirates 49-40. This game has always been about pitching. The Pirates basically a 3.5 team ERA. Their bullpen has been lights out. But look at the last 2 ball games. Here's Bedard in the 7th inning with 2 outs. Yesterday, the Rockies win. Karstens had the 1 bad inning, but he pitched them into the 8th inning.
Yeah, he goes 7 innings, just 6 hits. Tonight, the Rockies have just 8 hits. And you've missed A.J. Burnett, but tomorrow afternoon, excuse me, James McDonald's, who's 9-3 with a 2.59 ERA, will be on the hill for the Pirates. With the bullpen that the Pirates had, it's made the starting pitching better because they realize we don't have to go out and throw a complete game. If we can get the lead into the 6th inning, we can flip it over to those guys because they are second in the National League. The bullpen is in ERA. They're first in save percentage, 4th in hits allowed. And Jared Hughes is up now for the Pirates.
Carr goes on deck, 3-1 on Fowler. Runner will be off, 3-2. On Dexter, ball 4, and now the tying run will come up in Carlos Gonzalez.
Visit from the pitching coach.
Ray Searage is out there. Carlos Gonzalez relishes these moments. He's really good at pushing the lead. Somewhere in his mind, he's flashing back to that 3rd inning, 2 on, nobody out, and he grounded into a 4-6-3 double play.
Yeah, how did they pitch me that time? That's where he's also going back into the memory bank. I think it'd be a perfect time for that 3-run home run. Get off that homerless streak that Mark talked about earlier tonight.
It's been a while. He's been stuck on 17. June 15th, the last bomb for Carlos. Guys that lift that front leg, it's all about getting it down on time and not having the right tempo to it.
Yeah, not too fast. But when you lift it up, are you coiling too? Or are you getting some load back onto that back leg? And I think that's the thing for Carlos is bring the leg up, turn the hips in the midsection, and act like a spring. When you explode and that foot gets down, that's when you go.
2 outs, 2 on, 5-2 Pittsburgh, bottom of 7. And now the count right where you'd like it if you're number 5, 2-0.
Think away, but react in.
Here's the 2-0. Way inside. 3-0. Bedard's on deck. This is a tricky situation for Bedard because you know Carlos is going to be firing if it's to his liking. Scudero singled. He's at second. Fowler at first after a walk. He got a fastball out over the plate. And that's a happy zone for him. That ball away. We've seen him hit the ball out of the ballpark on pitches off the plate.
He gets that backspin as well as anybody.
He has tremendous plate coverage. 3-1. Ball 4, and they're loaded up for Cuddyer. We'll see if Clint now will go and bring in the right-hander.
Yeah, he's going to have to. He's not going to let Bedard face Cuddyer for the 4th time.
So the Rockies have an opportunity. Bases loaded with 2 outs, trailing 5-2 in the 7th. Bedard, a good job as he walks off. Baseball on Root Sports is brought to you by your Colorado Hyundai dealers and America's most fuel-efficient car company, Hyundai. By Sonic, it's officially summer, so roll up and try the all-new Holy Guacamole Dog and Chili Cheese Fritos Coney. By Wells Fargo customers get your 2-for-1 Rockies tickets by going to wellsfargo.com/Rockies. Wells Fargo Bank, member FDIC. And by Ram Trucks. Now get a great deal on a new Ram truck at the Ram Summer Clearance event going on right now. Marcos Scudero a single. He's at third now. Fowler walked. He's at second. Cargo just walked. He is at first. 2 are gone. Michael Cuddyer 0 for 2 and a walk. With the bases loaded. He has 2 grand slams this year facing Jared Hughes. And the first pitch is in, ball 1.
We saw the stats on Jared Hughes. 34 appearances. That leads all National League rookies. Michael Cuddyer has seen Hughes one other time. 0 for 1. Heavy sink with 93 to 94 miles an hour on the fastball.
2-0. balls and a strike.
The secondary pitch for Hughes is a slider. Only 2 pitches for him coming out of the bullpen.
And a ground ball foul. Two balls, 2 strikes on Kadire.
The outfielders for the Pirates have moved back, trying to cut off a ball if it's in the gap and keep it from being a double.
3-2. And of course, if you get one in the gap, now with a 3-2 count, the runners will be off. You have tremendous speed. Fowler at second and Cargo at first. Rockies down 3. In the air to center field, playable for McCutchen. Kadire just missed it, and the Rockies will leave the bases loaded for the second time in the game. They trail 5-2. The 8th inning. Sports fans, don't forget the Dan Patrick Show airs weekday mornings at 7. As always, Dan and his Danettes will discuss the latest sports and celebrity stories. That's the Dan Patrick Show right here on Root Sports weekday mornings at 7. Neil Walker out of the 5-hole will lead things off. Then Pedro Alvarez and Michael McHenry in the 8th inning. Mike Ekstrom will make his second appearance for the Rockies since being called up from Colorado Springs. Had a scoreless outing the other day. Scoreless inning of work against the Phillies. His first work since the summer of 2011 when he was employed by Tampa Bay, and he only had 1 inning with Tampa.
But down in Colorado Springs in 37 games, 2-1 with a 2.64 ERA. 11 innings, or excuse me, just 11 pitches in that 1 inning against the Phillies that you were referencing, Drew.
Walker with a base hit his last time up to extend his hitting streak to 17 games, a National League best. His career best 18 last year. And I mean, he's been tearing it up. 477 average, 31 hits during the 17-game hitting streak, including 3 home runs, 8 doubles. He's walked 10 times.
He's slugging almost 800 just in this month alone.
Ground ball deep in the hole, and Rutledge, great play It'll be a leg hit for Walker. I mean, that was a tremendous play, even to make it interesting.
Just to get to the baseball. You're shaded up the middle if you're Josh Rutledge with the left-hander, so you have to go back to your right, get it, and as you're running away from first base, try to turn the hips and the body to get enough onto the throw. I mean, just got it there on the Mike Shaw Subaru Supermo.
Strike on Pedro Alvarez, 0 for 3, a couple of strikeouts tonight. Well, we got the attendance number, 42,574.
If you ever want to see what's happening at Coors Field, you can take a behind-the-scenes tour. Group and individual tickets are available. Call 303-ROCKIES to get a behind-the-scenes tour. He just called for a slide step and an elevated fastball.
And 2 on Alvarez. And Rosario keeps it in the neighborhood. 1 and 2. Walker, no advancement. And one of the reasons the Pirates are 9 games over 500, we've bragged on their bullpen. But you have to have the stopper in the 9th inning, and they have one of the game's best in Joel Hanrahan. His stuff is plain filthy, which really puts the onus on the Rockies in the 8th inning. Of course, the disappointment of not getting that big hit in the 7th inning.
But Hanahan's a 97, 98, 99 mile an hour fastball. 24 saves on the season, second in the National League, only trailing Craig Kimbrell.
Got a wicked breaking ball also.
Yeah, so how do you cover both the fastball and the wicked breaking pitch? 2-time All-Star.
You get 4 runs in the 8th inning. And
there you go. I like that thought.
Alvarez gone for the 3rd time tonight. Ekstrom strikes him out. 1 out, and that'll bring up McHenry.
Well, the hat trick now for Pedro Alvarez. A slider that had the late break and movement in the location that Willeen Rosario had called for.
Let's check in with Mark Stout as Mike McHenry's at the plate. Ball 1. Mark.
All right, guys, quick note on Mike McHenry. He's been nicknamed the Fort in Pittsburgh. Fort McHenry's in Baltimore. It was key in the War of 1812. It was bombarded. Francis Scott Key witnessed that, wrote the Star Spangled Banner. We're going to have the story and the pictures of when Mike raised the flag there this year when the Pirates played in Baltimore in the pregame tomorrow. Check that out at 12:30.
Nice little promo. I like that, Mark. 2-0.
You wonder where some guys get their nicknames.
Right? This ball's well hit by McHenry, right center field. It's going to touch down, kiss off the wall. Neil Walker around third gets a green light, and Walker will score without a throw. An RBI double for McHenry, his 19th RBI. And Fort McHenry has just given the Pirates a 6-2 lead.
That all-important extra run for the Pirates to make it a 4-run game where the grand slams can just tie the game up. McHenry stayed through the middle of the field, short hopped the wall in right center field with the speed of Neil Walker. He scores standing up.
Ground ball by Barmes to short. Rutledge gets behind the ball and throws out Clint. 2 outs.
I like the way Josh Rutledge played that to a backhand. It didn't try to circle it and come all the way around, then have to throw off balance. There's certain plays you have to make as an infielder that are backhand plays, and you can't be afraid to make them. Watch Josh Rutledge take his right foot to where the ball's going to be, and then he sets up, and it's an easier throw than trying to circle around and make the off-balance sidearm throw.
Well described, Huey. This will be Garrett Jones' first appearance in the series. No pinch hit for Jared Hughes. McHenry at second, 6-2 Pirates. Extra misses with the fastball at 93. Jones in his career, .318 average, including 6 home runs. He's got a dozen home runs this year. Good pitch. 1-1.
Garrett Jones has lost some playing time to Casey McGee at first base. Been relegated to a pinch hit role now.
Ball and a strike on Garrett Jones. And that's strike 2, 1-2. Rockies in the 8th inning will have Pacheco, Rosario, and Rutledge. Jason Grilli, who took the loss last night. Normally the 8th inning guy. Chris Resoft is up, not Grilli. That's a pass ball. That's I would assume it's a pass ball, and yeah, that's number 12. That's a new Rockies record, not a record you want. The education of the young catcher Willeen Rosario continues, but this is a ball that's got to be handled.
Yeah, it goes off the thumb and bends the glove back, and just trying to watch his body as he was trying to catch that ball. It looked like he was sliding to his right as the ball was going back to his left. Did he think it was going to break more, or did they get mixed up in signs? Either way, it wasn't a good attempt.
Popped up foul and out of play. Kadire will glove it and run to the bag. In the inning, an infield hit by Neil Walker, and then Mike McHenry brought him home with a double. It's now 6-2 Pirates as we go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Runs, 9 hits and an error for the Pirates. The Rockies have not gotten the big hit tonight again. It's 2 runs on 8 hits. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Colorado Rockies, may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Colorado Rockies. Jordan Pacheco will lead it off. Chris Resop is on the hill now from Pittsburgh. It will be the 34th appearance for Resop. He's unscored upon so far in the month of July.
For Resop, it's fastball, curveball, changeup. 4 holds, with 31 strikeouts, with 44 innings, just 18 walks. Pitches to contact. Carlos Torres is up. Pitcher spot due up 4th this inning for the Rockies.
Pacheco tonight 0 for 3.
Jordan, I'm sure would like to have that first inning at bat back when the Rockies had the bases loaded and he grounded out to end the inning. Those are the ones that gnaw at you after a ball game. When you're trying to eat your dinner, you think back to that one pitch and the one sequence. Should I have done it different, or should I have looked for a different pitch?
Rockies twice have had the bases loaded with 2 outs. They also had a situation, runner at third with nobody out. That was after Rutledge tripled in Rosario. The pitcher was up next. Friedrich struck out looking. Eric Young unfortunately struck out looking also, and then Marco Scudero hit the ball hard to center field, but he was caught by McCutchen.
Well, and that's why the Rockies tonight are 0 for 8 with runners in scoring position. And the Pirates are 2 for 5. So the Rockies have had more chances, and they've also left 9 guys on base.
And a good piece of hitting here by Pacheco. He has a base hit to right center. Just kind of reached down and flicked it. into the outfield. So Pacheco aboard in the 8th, leading off, and Rosario will come up. Pirates up by 4 runs. Reesop spun out on that delivery. 2-1.
Where Reesop stands on the first base side of the rubber, it's hard for him to throw inside because his sight line is to the outside part of the plate for a right-handed hitter.
Catches that outside corner there. It's 2-2. Ball to second, and Pacheco. A pretty good jump. Walker, that's just a smart defensive play.
Sure.
Up 4 runs, make sure you get an out.
Trade an out right now for a tough chance at a double play in the lead runner. And if you stop it right there, when he looks to where Pacheco is, he's almost going into his slide. So you get the out. You know, one more look at this. Now, Pacheco, if we get ready to stop it right here, by the time he gets around to spin it, Pacheco's going to be in that area right there. So get the lead, or just get the out here in the 8th inning with the 4-run lead.
Rutledge at the plate. Rutledge a triple in 3 trips tonight. Ground ball to Alvarez, and the out recorded there, safe at first. Sin there by Pacheco. He ran into the out. Two outs, Rutledge at first, and Jason Giambi will hit.
Yeah, you did down by 4 runs, balls in front of you. That's just a bad base running error.
Giambi had a big hit last night in the 9th inning off the bench to put the winning run at third base, and Fowler would deliver him. Rockies win 5-4. Rockies as a club hitting .299 in the pinch. That's the best mark in the National League. Giambi with the ground ball to second, so to speak. And that was Alvarez over there. So it's 5-3 if you score with us. Brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. By Colorado Lottery, don't forget to play. By Jack in the Box, get the All-American Jack Combo at Jack in the Box. It's a no-nonsense burger with fries and a drink for only $4.99 plus tax at participating stores. By Berkanier Mechanical and Plumbing Services. For all your plumbing, heating, and cooling needs, call Berkanier. 303-777-3037. Think green, think Berkanier. And by 5 Hour Energy. 5 Hour Energy fixes tired fast. 6-2 Pirates, top of the 9th inning. The Toyota postgame show will immediately follow, and Joel Klatt is out in center field. Joel, how you doing?
I'm doing great, thank you very much, Drew. On the Toyota postgame show, how about the Pirates' treasure? I'm pretty sure that ball McCutcheon hit went into the ice cream parlor behind me. That was a pretty long home run. Guys in the Triple Crown race. He's in the conversation for MVP. We'll talk about Andrew McCutcheon. Plus, the fifth element. Christian Friedrich having a tough time getting out of the fifth inning in 2 of his last 3 starts. We'll talk about that. Plus, hear from Jim Tracy down in the clubhouse. That's all coming up after the game, Drew.
All right, Joel, thank you. Right now, for the Pirates, it'll be the top of their order. Alex Presley will lead things off against Carlos Torres.
On every appearance that Carlos has had here at the big leagues, he's shown that the 172 batting average against, pretty impressive.
Two 2-0 on Presley. This kid's got great wheels. To second. Scudero goes to a knee. Can do that on the right side. 1 out. Gorkys Hernandez will get his first at bat. Came into the ball game an inning ago for Drew Sutton.
Hernandez 2 for 22 in 18 games. He's recalled when Jose Tabata was sent to the minor leagues.
Look at it. That hit him.
Yep, got his jersey. Hernandez, that's the best kind of hit by pitch. Doesn't hurt, just got the jersey, but you get first base. I'm thinking back to a few years ago when Andrew McCutchen was called up. Nate McLouth was. People in Pittsburgh were wondering, who's this McCutchen kid? You're getting rid of McLouth. Well, it worked out.
They had McLouth earlier this year again.
McLouth ended up going down to Atlanta. He was with Baltimore.
And McCutchen a check swing. There's one, and they're not going to get it out. High throw by Carlos Torres.
In his haste to try to get McCutchen on the double play, didn't set his feet and make the throw to Scudero. He was off the bag. Marco knew it. Oh, he got him on the tag. He was out. That's just a bad call from Gary Cederstrom. Watch him tag him before his right foot gets to the bag. Right there. He's out.
Casey McGee singled in a run in the 5th inning, 1 for 4. That's out of play. Pirates 6 runs on 9 hits. The Rockies have 9 hits as well, but they have played at just 2. They've struggled of late offensively. Inside, and it's 3-1. Hernandez at second, McCutchen at first.
He put the runners in motion.
No, they don't, and this ball's hit well to right center field. Fowler's going to get there, and now Hernandez, who runs well, will gallop to third.
Off the bat, that looked like it was going further. We're glad it did. Dexter Fowler shading to right center field, gets the jump and makes his play look easy. He had to slow down and catch and spin. Catch it first and then fire it back in to keep McCutchen at first and keep Hernandez from scoring. Walker with 2 outs and runners in scoring position. 341.
Two for 3 and a walk tonight. Way outside, 1-1. How about this? The Kansas City Royals cut today Jonathan Sanchez. Did you see that? Sanchez was traded for Melky Cabrera. Cabrera was just named the MVP of the All-Star game. Sanchez, who threw a no-hitter a couple years ago at the Giants. Kansas City looking for another strong foundation member or rotation member that would become a foundation there. And instead he struggled so much they've released him. They gave up a heck of a player.
It just shows you, because a couple years ago he was the up-and-coming guy for the Giants. He was had struggles, and people often compare Jonathan Sanchez, Jorge De La Rosa to the same type of pitcher, where they had the electric stuff, but then they would walk too many guys. But it seemed like he had harnessed that ability.
Bob McClure's over there in Kansas City. Where's Bob gone?
No, he's
at Baltimore.
Boston.
Boston, excuse me. Bob was there in Kansas City.
There's reports out of Boston that he and Bobby don't see eye to eye.
A lot of people seeing eye to eye. It seems like even reports
Bobby's
out of Boston.
The common denominator, isn't he?
Yeah. How'd you get along with your old manager?
He was all right to me, but I can understand why people seem to look at Bobby differently.
It's always entertaining.
That he is. There's never a dull moment.
Ball 4. Walker walks. And the bases are loaded now for Pedro Alvarez. Now the Rockies have not pitched real well in a couple of places tonight. That 5th inning, Friedrich. Ottavino is good out of the pen. 2 strong innings, and Ekstrom gave up a run last inning, and Torres struggling here in the 9th. He hasn't helped himself. He hasn't given up a hit, but he hasn't helped himself because of that error.
Yeah, and also the hit by pitch. But 5 walks for the Rockies tonight. 3 by Christian Friedrich, 1 by Adam Ottavino, now 1 here for Carlos Torres.
For the record, Jonathan Sanchez's numbers with the Royals: 1-6 with a 7.76 ERA. Alvarez has struggled tonight, 0 for 4, 3 punch-outs. He almost was the big star of the night yesterday, hitting that game-tying 3-run home run in the 9th inning after the rain delay. 6-2 Bucks, top of 9.
He doesn't get cheated.
Angels won big tonight in the American League. Mentionable because Mike Trout, Mark Trumbo, and one Albert Pujols all hit home runs.
Think what Pujols' numbers would be if he hadn't had the horrific April.
And May wasn't much better.
Back-to-back sliders from Carlos Torres to start off the at-bat for Pedro Alvarez.
Hernandez, McCutchen, and Walker on a ground ball to second. We'll go to the bottom of the 9th inning. The Rockies are down 6-2 to the Pirates. Inning, Drew Goodman along with Jeff Hewson and Mark Stout. Rockies will have the top of the order, and they will not face the closer. It'll be Juan Cruz, not Joel Hanrahan. Juan Cruz with that big right arm. He's been around for a while now. Working as one of the setup guys for Clint Hurdle.
He's not very big, but that quick arm action, and it slings it up there at 93, 95 miles an hour. Out on the road, a 169 ERA.
Juan used to throw even harder. He was 97, 98. Eric Young, 0 for 4 tonight in that leadoff spot. Young, Scutaro, Fowler. Junior takes a strike. National League scoreboard, the Padres leading the Astros 4-2 in the 5th inning. Dodgers leading the Phillies 2-1 in the 6th. That was the return of Roy Halladay for Philadelphia. That's another strike. Nationals beat the Mets in 10 innings 5-4.
A walk-off wild pitch.
Not how you want to lose. Giants blew out the Braves 9-0. That was Zito over Jurgens. Barry Zito's now 8-6. Buster Posey drove in 5. Reds shut out the Diamondbacks 4-0. So right now they're a game and a half ahead of Pittsburgh in the NL Central.
And remember, that's without Joey Votto.
Ryan Ludwig, he'll be out 3 to 4 weeks. Ryan Ludwig hit a home run for the Reds. On the ground is short. Barnes, good hands, quick release, 1 out. Marco Scutaro will come up. Marlins beat the Cubs 9-5. Carlos Lee, the new Marlin, hit a grand slam.
That series, Carlos Zambrano will not pitch against the Cubs.
Hanley Ramirez hit another home run. He hit one yesterday. He's got 14. Omar Infante hit a home run. Jeff Baker hit a home run, his 4th for the Cubs, the former Rocky. Ball 1. Brewers beat the Cardinals 3-2. Ricky Weeks' 9th home run. That was Wolf over Kelly.
Matt Holliday had to come out of that game in the 1st inning, hit by a pitch.
Yep. Hopefully not serious. 1-1. Twins over the Orioles 6-4. Adam Jones is 21st. The Rangers in the 6th inning, leading the A's 4-0. That Twins Orioles game is in the 9th inning. It's not a final yet. Beltre is 17th for Texas. Angels, as we mentioned, blew out the Tigers 13-0. They out-hit them 18-4. Pujols is 16th. Kendry Morales is 9th. Callaspo is 7th. Trumbo is 26th. Trout is 13th. They can do that to you. Yankees got a great performance from CC Sabathia coming off the DL. They beat the Blue Jays 6-1. CC now 10-3. Andrew Jones is 12th for New York.
Batista's on the DL for Toronto with a wrist injury. Did that on a swing last night.
Yeah, that he had to come out of the game. McCutchen has it, 2 outs in the 9th inning. The White Sox won at Boston 7-5 over the Red Sox. Guess who hit a home run for the White Sox?
Kevin Youkilis.
You got it.
Okay.
His 8th home run. I'm sure that was a pleasant trip around the bases for Youkilis. Dexter Fowler coming up with 2 outs. Rays over the Indians 4-2. Carlos Pena's 14th. Mariners beat the Royals 9-6. Here it is 6-2. Pirates leading, 2 outs in the 9th inning. Dexter's had a good night. A couple of singles and a walk. Hitting in the 3-hole for the second time this year.
And that was what you were concerned about. Did he change his approach at the plate because he moved from the leadoff spot? And he didn't. When he had the opportunity tonight, in his second at bat, he drops the bunt down for a base hit.
Here's the 1-1 from Juan Cruz, high 2-1. Balls and a strike on Dex. I don't know if we mentioned this. Jhoulys Chacín threw a mini simulated game, couple innings today, 30 pitches. Everything went very well. He'll throw one more of those.
On the 22nd.
All goes well. That'll actually happen on the 22nd down in the Springs. Ball 4. So Dexter walks. Cargo will come up. Ball goes well. Scheduled to go out on a rehab assignment after that.
And this next time when he throws that simulated game you mentioned, Drew, it'll be 35 pitches or the equivalent of 3 innings. He'll throw 15 pitches, go sit down, go out, throw another 15 pitches, and just kind of see how it goes. And that last, 45 pitches, and then the last 15 will be in the 3rd inning there. And maybe throw a few more out in the bullpen, but it's all of his pitches. It's not just a fastball changeup. He's throwing the sliders and everything else that you need to do before you could go out on a rehab.
I was talking to Bo McLaughlin about him the other day, and just watching his work in the bullpen, he's really excited about where Chacín is. Pain-free. Ball coming out of his hand nicely. That would be a good lift for the Rockies. You know, the latter part of the second half, just to get him back online, pitching well, leading into 2013.
Well, so he doesn't have the concerns about his arm going into the offseason.
Yep. Cargo 2 for 3 and a walk, way outside. Dexter moves up. No stolen base awarded there.
A couple pitches now from Cruz that haven't even been close to the same area code. McHenry had to dive just to catch it.
McHenry and Juan Cruz having trouble evidently with signs. We'll make sure. We're taking the second sign here. We're taking the. Wait a second. We're behind in the count.
Yeah, all those things that will drive a manager nuts too.
One ball, one strike. Again, Cruz stepping off the bat. He's making Rafael Betancourt look like Mark Burley right now.
And this is going on 45, 50 seconds in between pitches, and
and again he steps off the bat. He's looking in.
Well, and now you're starting to see the infielders trying to make sure that they keep their legs loose, moving around, shaking them out.
Might have to just shout fastball, slider. 1-2.
Good eye.
Two. Full count on Gonzalez. And back-to-back walks. And now Kadire will come up. He's not up, but Clint Hurdle wanted to. And he could get Joel Hanrahan into the game and be a save. Ray Searage has had to call down. Hanrahan is in position to throw, but he hasn't thrown. Now he will.
Well, remember, he's got the 8 warm-ups out here.
Well, this is interesting because he really, we look down there periodically. I didn't see him throwing, but he's coming in the ball game.
That's the last thing Clint Hurdle wanted to have to do with the 4-run lead to bring in his closer with 2 outs.
2 on, 2 out, 6-2 Pirates. And 2 outs in the 9th inning. The Rockies trail at 6-2. Joel Hanrahan, the outstanding all-star closer of the Pirates, into the ball game. The league hitting a whopping 165 against him.
24 for 27 in save opportunities. We talked about his fastball, 97 to 99 miles an hour, but don't forget about the power slider.
Fowler at second. He walked. Cargo just walked. He's at first. 96-mile-an-hour fastball missed. Ball 1. Kadire tonight 0 for 3 and a walk. Last night 1 for 3 and a walk. He had a double in last night's game. 2-0. 3-0, and then you start to wonder now, was he completely worn?
Did he get enough pitches out in the pen, or did they have to get him up and get him going so quickly that he's not completely loose?
Ball 4, and the bases are loaded. Pacheco's due up. He's going to get called back for Colvin. So the Rockies, at the very least, will get the tying run to the plate. All you could possibly ask for when you're down by 4, heading to the final frame.
And also with 2 outs, 2 quick outs to start this half inning, and then 3 straight walks. Colvin 1 for 3 in his career against Hanrahan. This is in conference to talk about where they want to try to pitch Colvin.
Tyler's been starting most days now. Yesterday, 0 for 3 and a walk. Really hot going into the All-Star break. He's cooled off a little bit here to begin the second half. 3 walks have loaded the bases in the 9th inning. Tyler Colvin with 13 home runs. He's driven in 40.
And one of them as a pinch hit home run.
First strike thrown by Hanrahan.
And there it was. The equalizer, the hard slider. Right out of the Mike Shaw Subaru Supermo. Man, the torque on the baseball. Great illustration of how hard he throws that.
2-strike count on Colvin. Good block by Mike McHenry. Good angle with the chest protector.
Roll the shoulders. Drop the chin to your chest. Flip the glove over.
You're almost falling forward.
Yep.
One and 2 on Colvin, the pinch hitter, with the bases loaded. And it's 2 and 2. You're at the plate here, you have to, especially as hard as he throws, but you got to hope that that fastball shows up. I mean, if he spins one,
there's not much you
tip
can
your
do.
cap.
Because you have to commit your swing so early.
2-2, and he did spin it. It's in the dirt. And stepping on home plate to end the game is Mike McHenry. 6-2 the final. The Pirates win it. Eric Bedard snaps that losing streak, wins for just the 3rd time on the road all year. He's 5-10, his first victory since June the 8th. Christian Friedrich takes the loss. He's 5-7. Joel Hanrahan with his 25th save He walked to Dyer, but he struck out the pinch hitter Colvin, and the Rockies end up leaving the bases loaded for the third time in the game. They leave 13 on altogether. Again, the final score, the Pirates win it 6-2. Tonight's delivery of the game is brought to you by Jimmy John's, America's favorite sandwich delivery guys. Andrew McCutchen hit one a mile. His 22nd home run, his 6th in the last 6 games. They've got the Pirates even with the Rockies at 1-1. He was fun to watch, not fun to play against. So Clint Hurdle's Pirates win it tonight 6-2. Tomorrow afternoon, the rubber game. It's an afternoon affair. Toyota postgame show's up next.